What's up, fam? What it is? This video we're going to talk about our response to the power of walking away with clear intent. Now this is a response, and I've gotten a lot of questions and people actually doing the process, and there's a lot of different getting a lot of different kind of feedback. They get to a certain point, they do the walking away, they get stuck. So we're going to get into a response letter here, and we're going to try to clear up some things for these guys. And there's so many different scenarios, but I'm going to give you some basics and things I talked about in the other video that they should have went over again, but I'll give some more detail and bring them along and try to bring them into the open, to the clearing from this forest, from the trees. All right? Don't go away. Okay, so this video is, it's got, let's call him Mark T, right? He says, love your videos, been listening to how to walk away, but I'm married and I have started to make plans, but I'm stuck living with her and have no way out since I have no family to go to. Is there a way to walk away even when we live together? Good question. I'm the only one working and she doesn't. I need help stop being a simp. All right, so quick videos is short, but the situation is convoluted. Now, like I said in my video, The Power of Walking Away, you have to have logistics correct. When it comes to walking away and the power of walking away, it's got to be with clear intent. You can't this can't be a snap decision. Now, if you're single, in this case, he's married or living together, there has to be a little more detail and more logistics involved in your move. Why? Because there's a lot more invested here. You got now, especially with marriage, there's legal, there's documents, there's a lot of different nuances that you knew previously getting into the marriage, that there's a lot more weighing on the side of marriage, bond, relationship, legal matters. Whereas when you're single, it didn't work out. We're trying to get to the marriage thing. We're not there. We're over here now. So we're not going to make it further than where we are. It's still painful on either side. Not saying it's easy. That's why it has to be, you have to have a plan, it has to be logistically correct in the right moment in time. You have to plan. Now, the key thing that he said here is that he's planning. Okay, so he already made it up in his mind that he's going to depart, find his own way, power walking away. Now, because this is a marriage, I have another suggestion. I'll get into that later. But let's talk about some of the things that has to happen for this guy to even get to this point where he feels that he needs to walk away, right? So he didn't give a lot of meat here, nothing much to go with, but the basic barometer here, most guys, when they get to this point where they want to walk away, the chances are that they've tried maybe they've tried ways to make things work. However, maybe those ways weren't the best ways. So here's some suggestions. And this is for single, married, or just living together. Doesn't matter. If you're an LTR, married, or you're single. You want to do some of the basic things, okay? Let's try to find, first of all, the common denominator of the problems. A lot of times it's either financial, emotional, where she's not getting enough time, or she doesn't feel important, or you don't feel respected, or whatever it is. Financial, the money's not right. A lot of times women get upset with the finances aren't right. Men work with it, but not all cases, but for the most part, a woman's nature, resources, her hypergamy kicks in. No matter how minute it may be, she may make a lot of sense. She could be right. He could spend money frivolously, and she wants him to save. It could be vice versa. But there's a financial problem with the relationship that could break it up. That can cause stress, along with other things too. So that becomes a weighing factor. Or sex. the emotional sex connection's not there. Okay, or the communication's not there. They don't have that bond of communicating. So some or all of these things could be lacking low, like on a scale from 1 to 10, they're all at a 2, 3, and a 4. Nothing's high enough on the scale to balance things up and to raise up the numbers and levels, right? So in this case, we have a guy here that is ready to move on. Marriage is difficult. Singles, okay, like I said. LTR is okay. Logistics has to be done. So let's say he has logistics already intact. Let's just say he does. Okay. So his self-talk is saying, hey, you know, I'm a simp. So I want to stop becoming a simp. Obviously, if she's not working and you're working, doesn't mean that, see, a simp doesn't know he's a simp. The fact that you're realizing that, hey, you know what? I'm tired of being this way. What are you doing? You're drawing a line in the sand. Like I said in my last video, when it comes to power of walking away, has to be definite, has to be a final result. Now, the fact that you're realizing that maybe you tried other options, which is always going to be suggestible first, is to try other options. Try counseling. You can try getting one counselor for her, a counselor for you, and then one that combines, get 3 counselors and see which one you like the best. Sometimes you got to shop around for the first counselor. Won't be the best all the time. Most times, from my experience, is not. So always try to get at least 3 so you guys can collectively decide which one makes the most sense. And by doing that, again, you're creating a moment where you get to bond. Now, if she's on the couch, she's not working, refused to work, maybe you've told her a million times, you got to help us out. What are you going to do? You got to do something. She's just counting on you and falling back. Obviously, if you're married to her, it doesn't say how long he's been married to her. Doesn't say, I guess there's no kids involved. It would mention kids because that'd be a factor to stay. You know, financially it's going to hurt him if he does it. This is why, you know, and if you can't, here's the deal. And if in this case where this guy, he has nowhere to go. He has no family. He has no, I guess he has friends. I don't know if he has friends or not. But in this case, the guy's saying he has no family to go to. And I guess, I don't know about friends, like I said, not clear on that. But regardless, guys, if you're going to have a logistical reason to go your own way and you know, to walk away, have logistics. So in other words, if you got to work, get more cash flow coming in. Get enough cash flow that you can leave and get your own little place. But you talk to her, first of all. You got to get counseling, see if it's going to work. Communication, again, let her know you're serious. Now, before you can move out, you just have to spend time. It's going to take you time logistically. You need time to build up your cash flow. You need time to create, let her, you have to be on your purpose. Whether she wants to move or not, or change or not, that's going to do with you. You have to be roommates. You have to stay with her and do your thing and build your purpose. Make it work while you're there. In other words, still get yourself, step up your values. Let her, she's going to see the difference in you. That's irrelevant. She may want to change because of that. Doesn't matter. The key point here is that you're going to have to play the roommate role now. Stop pulling back on your emotions, doing what you know, just the things you got to do to stay communicable, to stay amicable. Try to make it as amicable as possible because marriage can get ugly. So make sure you know that's what you really want. I suggest you check other options. That's my suggestion. But in the meantime, you still need more cash flow. Whether she works or not is irrelevant. Start building your cash flow. Start stacking some money away so when something like this really, really happens or you feel you need to go, if it becomes more hurtful or a detriment to your lifestyle and your livelihood and you have to leave for your own safety, you have the cash to do it. You need money to fall back on. The fact that you're married and you're working, she's not working, you obviously agreed to that arrangement as well. So some blame falls back on you. There's no conversation of getting her back to work or no conversation about her picking up some of the slack around here. So you're not doing that. So, and you call yourself a simp. So in other words, you know that you're not pushing her to be better or to make any income or earn any income. So where's her value coming in? You got to find out where the value is coming in that other party. All right. So now I want to get into the reasons. Now, the reasons that you're leaving have to be strong enough and they have to stand alone on their own, that it's without question that you're going to leave. But saving, building up more cash flow to do that is the only thing that makes sense, because you're going to have to pay something. Chances are, when you do depart from her, have that money put to the side. You still got to talk to counseling. You still got to get all that done. Try to avoid that if you can, but the decision is going to ultimately be yours. It's going to be your decision ultimately. Regardless, start building up your masculinity, your skills, your traits. Hey, I might just turn her around. She said you're a man taking up, you're taking that alpha level, you're moving up, and your energy is growing more masculine. It might just turn her on. The fact that you're not even running to her for validation, you're not even trying to prove or be that simp for her, okay? Because women don't appreciate what they have when you're giving it to them, give. Start taking some of your power back. Use that energy inside, internal. Start asking her, put her to work. Have her do things. Have that communication with her. You're the man, sit her down. Listen, what's going on here? Find out what she wants. What do you want to do? What's going on? What will make you happy right now? What do you want out of this relationship? What you want? And listen, because you're going to do what you want to do, but you hear her out. It may be the same thing. You may realize she realizes what's missing. You may find some common denominators. But you can never lose your alpha frame again. By separating yourself from her, even though you're living together, walking away, you still have to have the separation of self. You can do that while you're in the house without walking away. The power is taking your power back. That's the power you're doing now. Walking away is an option. But taking your power back, living as roommates, period. You keep building your value right there, right before her very eyes. You may see a change. And if you don't see a change, then you know you're making the right decision. It has to be logical. It may not be this year. It may be a year from now, as you start stacking, putting away some value, putting away some resources, some cash flow, so that when you do move, you're padded from the things that come along with a marriage. I've never been married. I suggest you guys try to find a common denominator, a common ground, and get some counseling and work it out. Either way, if you stay in the crib and you stay in the house with her and you build your value up, you become a better man all around, period. She's going to see a better man. You take the privileges away and you put her to work. You won't be simping. Alphas do that. Simps don't do that. Simps give her whatever she wants. They dance around, dance to the beat of her drum. They try to please. They're thirsty. They're outcome dependent. You be none of that. Keep doing these videos. As you can see, the power walking away, it works. Now you're doing the preparations right in the home, right in house, right on site. And let us see that. And that's just the benefactor. You ain't doing it for her. You're doing it for you. And you're going to see why you're building that power right there in front of her. Whether she's there or not, doesn't matter. But she may change. When she sees the change in you, she's going to change. She might be resentful, might be in love, might be attracted, or all the above. But you keep your frame and you keep building. And go through the right channels. Get counseling, look at the 800 numbers. And I don't want to give you any particular person because depending on where you live, I'm not sure where you live as far as what area, but do your own research, do your due diligence, and figure out what works for you guys. Okay? Subscribe, comment below, and you hear your family. I got you. Excel.